just like, hey, you have to like prime yourself to put yourself in a position to react to this move.
Yeah.
If you're busy on the stage doing anything at all, you're going to get hit by this high-speed moving bike.
Oh, yeah, and then the side stick on boots is interesting because a lot of moves require it to connect first before you get the strong hit, but Red Raptor's always going to put out like the pulse blast at the end of that attack, regardless of whether or not he can hit somebody on the way, and I've seen him catch people off guard with that many times. So let's see how it goes here. Arrow and Himwy are opening up with their new team composition, which worked really well in Elimination Final, which is this Kaya and Olgrim. And let's see if they can deal with the neutrals that's coming out from Keith, because he's been catching them a lot. And that's another thing, right? All of Red Raptor's signatures actually just hit both of his opponents. He gets them stacked all the time. It's crazy. Nice edge guard from Tiger.
Huge, and a huge combo as well. Keith going to be putting Elo in a nasty position. How do you make it back on? Tiger going to be occupying the stage with that Neutralite. Gets that Neutralite, and now that is already so quickly into the game, a pretty huge lead for Red Team, and Himwy is continuing to take on damage here. Looking for a way to land. Keith could be patrolling the ground. Gets that Neutralite, tries to go through that combo off stage, and is just waiting, forcing Himwy to go through the high recovery and still catching the landing. Himwy finally able to get a sider off, but is that going to be the stock? Not quite. Himwy does not finish his food.
He's not finished, and Tiger can't get the finisher off on the other side of the stage as well. Arrow finally gets the Neutralite. Okay. Neutralite's the other way, disarms Tiger, but Tiger holding on still. Finally goes down to that down stick, but as you said in the previous stock, Himwy took a ton of damage while they were making that effort. Keith has the orb. I wouldn't be surprised if he just throws that away. It's basically like the bike move, and then he throws it. That's what I feel like. There he goes. Do it again, Keith. Oh, yeah, there it was. Yeah, side sticking to throw the orb. Oh, the neutral stick catches, and that's crazy. Team combo coming out from Keith, goes for the end stick as well, realizing it was like, well, it kind of looked like he saw that starter, and he was like, I don't have a follow-up for this, so I'll just hit this move. And you know what? Better than nothing.
If it ain't don't fix it. You can just kind of keep pressing it.
Yes.
And that must feel like a good button to press, especially if it's hitting. You know,
yeah,
like,
you don't get to do
button.
that. You don't get to do that in singles very often. So Keith must be having the time of his life. Oh, although that time, not necessarily. That side stick punishes are pretty hard. And Arrow and Himwy brought this back really well after Keith may have gotten a little too big shiny button happy in that second stock, I think.
You know, I'd really hate to say it again, but a little bit too much dip audio chip. Gets a little bit soggy, falls off.
You did hate to say it again, though. You had so much fun saying it again.
Yeah, it makes
That's just like the boldest lie.
It is such like a good versatile like line in fighting. It's great.
What?
Because, you know, when you put a little bit too much, it gets soggy and then it falls off. It's over.
I don't.
You got a little bit too greedy. You did it too much. Okay, well, that checks out. Keith, looking to fight this 2v1 right now.
He's going to win this 2v1. That's what he's going to do. Look at that. Side stick goes through. D-line sider. That's not going to knock out. He's going to make it back. I'm hearing something.
Keith going to be able to get that sider. That's not going to KO.
What is production trolling me?
Oh.
No, he's still making it back. Let's go, Keith. His
I'm
dodge is gone.
That wasn't enough.
Makes it back.
That dash line was crazy.
Oh, Himwy is choking. Oh, but Keith is choking harder. D-line sider. Recovery actually knocks out now. Just kidding. Not buffed enough. All right. Next neutral interaction wins. Here we go.
Just jumping, dashing out, jumping in, jumping out, waiting for the next whip. Somebody looking to
there it is!
Oh,
the recovery knocks out the
Himwy.
top, and Keith gets the 2v1 victory. I told you. That's right. Production knows. You can hear them howling back there. What is going on? I thought an alarm was going off. I was terrified. I was like, who is doing that?
It's just Toast howling.
It's just Toast.
Yep. You know, in that one moment, the only reason that I wanted Keith to lose was just to prove a point to you. There was nothing else. I had no bias other than to specifically spot you.
I have bias.
But yeah, that was a great 2v. That was a great 1v2 from Keith. I mean, at the end of that last neutral interaction was like, hey, whoever like whiffs something stupid in the other's face is going to lose here. So the question is, am I just gonna wait or am I gonna overshoot? Those
really
are the
just,
two options in that position, and Keith just waited, and somebody didn't overshoot enough.
Oh. And Himwy just dropped a double D-light combo there. He went for double D-light Nair, I think, hoping he'd get the recovery afterwards. Man, Keith has been spending this whole time trying to land. Okay, blue team not too happy about that 2v1 loss, and for good reason. When you ever have moments like that, it really just comes down to, dang, we really have to tighten up our positioning on stage, because it is just important to win those. Oh, the bike's back.
Okay, I'm so glad Keith finally got punished for it. Every other signature just went completely unpunished, or did something, dare I say, a little bit too much. That time around, that was just like a very no-nonsense moment that is going to be a little stock off the side there. Keith going to be cleaning it up.
The delay ground pounds? Oh, he
Himwy
steers
got
it the
greedy.
wrong way, and Himwy got so greedy that he lost his stock for it? No!
Is what I would say.
He makes it back. I think Keith was just as surprised as I was that he managed to touch the wall there before that ground pound hit.
Okay, setting up for the combo here, maybe looking to catch a jump through with the sider, doesn't actually find it though. Could be getting off stage again. Wow, you know what? I really like all these resets, right? He's just jumping back onto the stage. He's not necessarily overextending off stage as much as he kind of used to. And now,
Let me just make sure who you were talking about.
Oh, Keith.
Keith, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Keith was getting a hit. He was jumping back onto the stage. He was able to reset and then just catch like the next recovery option over and over instead of, you know, any like super bold offstage commitments.
I think it's interesting that you like that because I was looking at that and I was going like, why is he not just finishing the stock? He just kept ground pounding them and coming back and he'd be like, wait a second.
If he puts himself off stage with a down, and maybe that's the one time it doesn't connect.
Yeah.
And then he's nice and exploitable.
Oh, Neutral hitting him in that moment, actually. Goes for that ground pound. All right, Keith, what do you got? Runs straight into arrow sideline air. Okay, weapon comes through. That down six says, get off me. Almost gets a double knockout with it. It's now an even-ish game state. I mean, a Keith stock is still a Keith stock. Look at that. Spot dodges in place, gets a neutral light. And then he goes over to team combo with the orb he just picked up. Brought up the Mecha Fist, but it did not do anything. And
Oh, huge combo.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I love that neutral as well. Popped up Tiger, put him in a bit of a, you know, uncomfortable bind for the moment there. Comes back on there. Okay, there it is again. Keith just, in the heat of battle, decides, I can get away with this, and nobody's going to notice.
And he gets arrow, gets the cider onto Himwy, goes to the ground pound. Arrow manages to barely make it back, and Keith probably is going to go for a jump call out with the neutral sig at this point. It's been working the best, and as long as Tiger stays grounded, I said that side sig almost is Tiger. Okay, Keith is really just praying. Then one of those hits. Ground pound connects, and Tiger's out of there. Can Keith do it again? I mean, one hit on the arrow, and he's got himself a... Okay, no, that's got to be
I've seen
sides.
Keith just press, like, 6 consecutive signatures, man.
It's not really consecutive. He puts like... Yeah, you're right.
You wanted to actually be that badly?
No.
You sat there and you were like, oh, this is going to be my moment.
I was going to be like, he dashes.
He finally got
what do you mean it's going to
punished
be my moment? That's not... look. Oh, this team combo is really great. Let's talk about this instead, please. Look at that. D-line side air. Whoa. Neutral sig?
That was a sick finisher.
It was. And that means Himwy and Arrow take their first game off of this team all day.
That's pretty huge, considering especially like how the winner of these finals match went. This is a bit of an unprecedented game too, because it was all Tiger, it was all Keith, and I feel like, you know, Keith's use of like especially like some of those like side and neutral signatures is a little bit, you know, generous at this point.
He's got side from the ledge. Oh,
he wants it so bad.
I want it so
moment.
bad at this point, right? He's got me thinking about it, and that's like the danger of playing against somebody like Keith, who might be a little signature happy at certain stages of the game, because they can condition you to that, right? And then he'll just go right back into it and be like, okay, I'm going to actually like play for the certain win condition. But in this case, blue team's actually separated Tiger and Keith very well. Got their edge guards on either side of the stage. We're just waiting to see if they can come back, and they didn't. And now it's 6 stocks to 4, where we might be on our way to a bracket reset possibility if Arrow and Himwy keep playing this good. I think the switch off the Taros has really helped Himwy a lot. His spear has been carrying a lot of the combos against Keith.
Okay, Keith coming back in with the side, gets Ego off stage. Tiger not going to be able to hold it down in time though. Backing off a little bit, trying to jump in with the side. He doesn't get anything. Ego going to be interrupted yet again. Keith now showing off a little bit more with the orbs. We didn't get to see this in one of these finals as much. We didn't get to see this in the previous games as much. Now we're seeing the orb come out, do its stuff. Ooh, what just happened off stage?
Tiger went down off stage. Missed the ledge, nared over his head, hoping to get a hit, didn't get the hit.
And he was like, okay.
No chase dodge, that means he's out of there. I mean, I don't think he thought it was fine, but he did have to live with it. Or,
I guess not.
Well, it's Brawlhalla. All right.
Got to at least not think about it for a little bit.
3 stocks to 2 stocks to 4. Thank goodness. Almost said the wrong thing there. Tiger's trying to land on the stage.
Sweating bullets at the moment.
Whoa, that does not knock out, but Himwy is coming pretty close. Yeah, this is Red Team. I wonder if they're going to make some adjustments after this one, and whether that's going to be the stage or the character picks. Oh, Keith, you almost missed the wall. Neutral light hits. Neutral sig will take him off. Himwy celebrating by putting. I forgot the cat.
Okay, a little bit of friendly fire. Keith is going to be more than happy to take full advantage of it. Keith with a double chase dodge in. Try to cross up, Keith.
So even I'm not crazy enough to slam Keith wins these in this situation. Yeah, there he goes. 1 stock to 4.
You know how to pick your battles.
Chances are low. I do know. Yeah, that's true.
On occasion, sometimes.
Yeah. Definitely don't just go running in. Take my time to just stealth knock out every enemy on the way in, right? That's how you do it. Sometimes. Whoa, Keith. He's going to be staying on the Red Raptor going into this game 4. Okay.
You don't sound too confident. How do you feel about it?
I don't feel great about it, but we have to see how this game plays out, right? They have a whole bracket reset to play with, and sometimes players like that. So we'll see whether Keith and Tiger are that. I think Arrow and Himwy certainly are playing their game plan very well, and the Spear has kind of stopped Keith from doing anything that has been fun. And last game we saw less signatures than usual and less success than usual, so maybe Keith has just been really thrown off his game. Oh, but there it is. That's what he has to use. He just has to use the giant fist and giant boot that's available to him from his like mecha robot that he
was like, what have I been missing from my gameplay?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Massive limbs.
Yeah. Oh, and the bike, but holding the charge the whole time. Red Raptor just racing across Demon Island. Recovery hits, stuffs out Tiger's recovery. No stocks flying just yet, but technically a lead for the red team. I don't really like calling that out until a stock goes down, and one could be going down here pretty shortly. There's the side sig. Go to the other side, Keith. That was supposed to be side sig.
That was a really good counter hit, though. Keith just got in there and made sure that, you know, despite the fact that his teammate took a bit of damage, he was able to get some of his own out there. Now Keith going to be coming back down there. Oh, that's the side sig that you wanted so badly. Got it interrupted a little bit too soon, though.
Yeah, it was. And he did take some damage at the very end, but still got some of his damage through. Himwy goes down. Keith's still holding on. And now it's up to Tiger to not go down as early as he did last game. He did just kind of like fall off the right side of Demon Island, which happens from time to time. Himwy takes down Keith, and a team combo on Tiger. This is huge. Oh, but Himwy actually fails to pick his bow back up, and Tiger gets out for free.
Tiger now holding onto the hammer, holding onto the stock as well here, trying to find a nice clean way to be able to get some damage onto the blue team at the moment. Left weaponless, okay, picks up the axe. Doesn't get anything in that moment, though. Doesn't even get the whip punish onto Ego, and that's going to be Tiger. Stock lost off the top there.
He's neutral singing while sandwiched between both of his opponents and wondering why he's getting hit. Sideline side air doesn't even knock out. Oh, no.
Just things. I feel like that's pretty typical. I see that all the time. That one is finally going to be able to knock out, though. Keith putting red team back on the map, keeping the game actually quite even at the moment.
He does not go for the team combo there. Neutralite whiffs. Can he do any more damage to Himwy here? That's a huge combo coming out to Arrow, and that could be the weak link that the red team needs here to bring it to game 5. Side sig narrowly avoided. Backswing of Dare does connect. Tiger putting on some good damage. Down air hits again into the stair to Arrow. Doesn't matter that he hits Keith. Keith's still pretty healthy, and they want to get this 1v2 against Himwy so they can bring it to a game 5. Whoa.
Oh, Keith tried to play back a little bit. Keith wanted to play back a little bit, just wait for them to finish hitting Tiger for a second, and then he did what he did best.
Which is side sig?
Yeah, except this time he waited. He waited for that side sig this time. He waited for his opponents to finish hitting his own teammate, and then he was able to get a massive punish out of it. And now look at this lead. 3 stocks to 1. They're chilling. Blue team, you know, not so much at the moment.
Yeah, which is too bad, because we kind of established earlier that you have to be on blue team to be chilling, but you said the red team was chilling.
They're on fire at the moment. Excuse me. I misspoke.
Oh, but they might be getting extinguished here by Himwy if they're not careful, because Keith goes down to 1 stock, and Tiger isn't exactly 1 hit away, but they are struggling to get any of these conversions off of these openings that Keith is finding.
But you just need that 1 hit, right? When you have this much of a lead, you just need that 1 opening. I guess
sometimes
in this case,
you just got to hit him with a bike.
I say that all the time.
Yeah,
it's my life motto.
Well,
yeah.
Red Raptor must really be for you. This has been a great grand final. Look at that side sig, and then the blast at the very end actually catches them at a different angle of knockback because of where the impulse hit. So that's really cool.
Thank God there's no bike lanes near me. It's great.
You mean like right now?
No, I'm not in New York,
New
like
York?
where I live.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not necessarily the most bike-accessible city.
Game 5.
Like for bicycles?
3.
Motorbikes.
Oh, well, I was thinking about before. I can't drive, so I can't do the second. Much less a motorcycle.
Thank goodness you're not getting hit by Red Raptor's bike on the streets of New York. Unlucky, though, for Himwy, who's definitely just been getting run over on Demon Island.
This is in New York. We're out in New York right now.
Could be New York at some point in time, right? Maybe this is New York in the future. It's a giant terror across the ethos.
Public policy.
We're in game 5 here in Grand Finals. If Keith and Tiger win, they are the Southeast Asia Autumn Champions. And if Arrow and Himwy win, well, they have to win another 3.
Oh, that was huge. Himwy held on to it, and I feel like you can just kind of do that sometimes. That is one of those signatures that you can just pop it out there, and somebody is going to either A, get hit into it, B, going to run into it, or C, wait for you to drop it, and it's like, oh, wait,
and then do nothing about
yeah,
it.
I can't actually punish you.
Yeah.
My bad.
Usually, I think the, like, safest way to punish it is to like dash forward weapon throw, stops the animation, pick the weapon up, maybe do something else afterwards, but even then it's not that great. So you're absolutely right. It's a very safe signature to rely on in doubles. However, red team had a lead for like a second until I decided to acknowledge it. Tiger taking a ton of damage until he lands on the ground. Can Keith find the orb? He did switch over mostly to the orb in that last game over the boots, and that's actually what got them that victory. So he's diversified his weapon light attack game at the very least.
They're about to make Tiger's in danger. Tiger has just taken so many hits. Well, I think actually maybe they're
all
going
Tigers in general.
all of them. Every single one of them.
Every single Tiger is about to be critically endangered.
You know, still
because of this result of this championship.
Still holding on to the second stock, but not for long.
I wonder which
man.
Tiger named himself after. We should ask him that in the post-game interview.
That we won't get.
That we won't get. Yeah, that's right. Thanks, tax evasion. Oh, sidelight hits, but the neutral light will knock him away, and Himwy gets the alley-oop with the unarmed stare. Keith hurting pretty bad right now. And this is on its way to a bracket reset. Unless Tiger gets the double edge guard here, Stomp Stare could knock out Himwy, could knock out Arrow as well, but they just can't get anything started, and Keith decides to go for a Haymaker instead of pick up a weapon.
Yeah, Keith finally picks up the oil peel. Now we're going to see what Keith does best, which is run to the other side, is what I would say not at all. Keith going to be losing out on that second stock. Arrow still holding on to 2. Himwy finally gets knocked down to one last stock of his own.
You're crazy.
This is not a good position to be in if you're red team. This isn't all that based, if you will.
No, and Tiger going sent to the red here, does hit Arrow. Okay, team combo. Go get him, Keith. One nair, doesn't get the cider though. He needed to get that pivot stare to knock him towards Tiger, so it was a good try. Let's see what they can do here. I mean, Taros hits pretty darn hard, and Keith has won a 1v2 in this set so far. Well, now it's looking difficult.
Yeah, this is not one of those likely 1v2s.
Recovery?
It's what I would say, Keith. It wasn't likely, but Keith is about to make the impossible happen.
Oh, he is a neutral light. He gets the gravity cancel D-light and a dare. Arrow has a cider and a dodge. Gets hit by the D-light side air, put off the right side of the stage, uses his dodge back on the stage, and he catches it before he touches the ground, but then he goes for the side stick read of all things. Keith, did you just throw your 1v2? Dashes out of the way. What's it going to be? Does he switch over to the orb? I don't think so. I think he just wants to stick to the boots.
Both of them are being so patient right now. Okay, is that going to be it? Not quite. Keith is still somehow holding onto the star, able to dodge past that. Somehow still avoiding the side. Arrow trying to hunt him down, trying to get this next hit, and picks up the orb. But that's going to be the hit. That's going to be the bracket reset. Keith almost made it happen.
That would have been so sick.
Would have been.
So Keith getting that D-light recovery off the top of the stage. We're going to see that in the replay here, I think. Oh, Keith.
That was so
close to making it happen. That recovery buff coming in this patch, really being huge there. And look at this. He had the combo, and he styles for the side sig, right? No, that comes on the very next one. He catches the landing here. Arrow has no jumps. He's sweating. Didn't touch the stage. And then, oh yeah, no, it'll be on this next one. Don't worry about the game here. See, he's got sweat beads, didn't touch, never touched. He could have just done D-light stare. He went for side sig because he's a...
As his name suggests.
He side sigs all the time. Dang it, Keith. That was actually really funny. I didn't catch it when you said it, though.
That's okay.
What is it now, Dara? Where are we? What happened? We just went to game 5, and now we're playing another set.
I feel
What's
like
going
this
on?
is not one of those regions where grand final bracket resets happen too often.
No. Oh!
This is a little bit atypical, isn't it?
And also, what was crazy was those knockouts on the top happening like that so much. Tiger just went down in quick fashion to Himwy, and Keith almost did as well. Yeah, so this is the bracket reset. We've been on Demon Island the entire set, going into Demon Island for a 6th game here. We'll probably be here for the rest of the grand finals. D-Light Cider comes through. No, Himwy misses his jump. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you just letting him go. You know what, Himwy, you can just do your thing, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Keith going up there, gets that recovery, tries to target switch back onto Arrow, who makes it back onto the stage. Goes for the side sig, the patented side sig. Well, you know what, buddy? That technology looking a little obsolete at the moment. No pedestrians to run into anymore.
No points. No bonus points if you don't run into a pedestrian. What is he doing?
Thank goodness most of the people watching this can't drive.
I suppose that's true. I mean, what age do you have to be able to get your motorcycle?
Oh, that's got to be. You got to be at least
20.
18. You have to be. There's
Ain't
no
even
way.
18. I was thinking like 26 or something. I thought driving a bike is a lot different than driving a car.
That would make sense. That is like the sensible legislation.
That's how old you have to be like to rent a car. I think is like 24. I don't know. Red Raptor certainly old enough though, right? Although I would doubt it sometimes with how he's been driving. Holy cow!
There's a lot of bad drivers out there, man. You know, it's okay for
Look at him
like
go.
somebody unqualified to slip through the cracks every now and then. It's fine. You can still just be old enough.
You know,
Keith,
it's just part of the
getting that
system.
spike off stage,
Can't be perfect.
gets that side as well onto Himwy.
That's gonna be the stock, right? Yeah, he fast falls off the right side of the stage. What a waste of time trying to recover otherwise. And now it's 3 stocks to 2. 2 stocks to 2.
It sure
After the
is.
5th time that happens, that's what breaks you. Okay. You're just taking the side.
It is really funny how often you just get immediately proven wrong by what is happening on the screen. The amount of times that the casting's curse like affects you specifically. You really are the casting curse.
It's not really.
You.
Hey, look, I also get some things very right. It's just gambling, really. That's all it is. It's not caster's curse. Oh, lands with a nair. You know what? Keith wins this one. You doubt me? Just fell
Look
off
at me
your
like
box.
I fell off my box. He lunged at me. Keith wanted that side stick. Didn't get it that time around. Gets knocked back off stage.
Oh, this is it. Goes back on the stage, and Himwy doesn't know that the stair comes through with an activate, but no! Keith loses game 1. This isn't how it's supposed to go.
You looked at me.
You're so
You
smug.
looked at me. And you
I'm
said
gonna
Keith
throw
is going
these
to win this
chains
one.
off the table. All right. Stop. It's Keith's fault, not mine. Himwy celebrating. I like how they put the fireworks. They were like stacked on top of each other, so he was like standing idly, but the fireworks were going off.
You know
That was a
what?
nice
After
touch.
this game, I would like to cut back to the camp after we get done with this game
No.
because I would really like to show
No, you don't
the
need to show anything. You don't
the
have to show
hazard
that.
that is me. Okay, you know what? It's fine.
You don't have
It's
to worry
fine.
about it.
You lunged at me and I fell off my box. It's fine. It's cool. It's not a big deal.
Saturday, Dara.
Game 2.
It's Saturday. No one's winning. Unless you're in Southeast Asia. Then you're fighting for grand finals here. And it's down a game for the red team, actually. And they were undefeated this entire bracket run up until grand finals, in which now they have not only lost a set, but they are behind in the last set of the day. And Himwy and Arrow have only looked like they've been getting better and better as they've been playing throughout this set, actually. Like, Keith's been doing some fantastic stuff. Tiger, I feel like, has been struggling a little bit. And then Keith, in the meantime, getting team comboed. Another one could come through there. Oh, Himwy didn't pivot the sidelight, actually.
Tiger has just not had much of a presence these past few games. Has been just
I
kind of
agree.
getting knocked off stage. Has been struggling to get back on. And we've just seen that play out over and over again. That's going to be Tiger's first stock gone off the top.
Oh.
Beautiful little cleanup.
He brought it out. Down 6 didn't hit
The
though.
boots,
There
the
it is!
stompies.
It spikes! That's the first time I think I've actually seen that hit competitively. So excited. Keith bringing out all the stops here with the Red Raptors. Side air hits Arrow off the side of the stage. Team combo to Himwy. Doesn't work though. And in fact, Himwy just schools both Tiger and Keith in the 1v2 while Arrow makes his way back to the stage. Well played by Himwy.
Himwy's playing super nice right now. Himwy has just been initiating a lot. Himwy has had a lot of lethality, has been cleaning up a lot of stocks with ease. Elgo going to be doing the same with that D-Sig as well. Finally going to be losing that first stock of his own, but he got so much extra credit off of it. Tiger has eaten a lot of damage as well here, just looking to get anything started. Himwy wants to find that downer off stage again and again. Tiger not able to get the anti with that D-Light, just backing off a little bit, gets that jump caught out. Tiger does not have a lot of presence right now, and Tiger is just getting beat up.
Yeah, Tiger's getting beat up a ton, doesn't have a lot of presence, and Keith is like getting demolished every time that he tries to get anything started with the boots at this point. Himwy and Arrow are on. Can't say it, they're blue team. What's like the chilling version of being like on a really good... What's the chill version of on fire?
Stewing?
Stewing? No, that's not it. That's awful. That sounds evil. That sounds terrible. Stewing's like brooding.
Simmering? Braising?
Simmering is also warm. These are all hot.
Okay.
high
Well, I was
temperature
just
things,
going off
right?
of being on fire.
No, I wanted something that was the opposite. Like, what's a cold version of being... Okay.
We'll figure it out after.
Yeah.
But now Elgo gets that neutral light, tries to target switch. I like the idea there to try to come back in with that side light. Both stocks going to be gone off the side, but it is 3 stocks to 1 at the moment. Himwy,
Himwy's got a bike too! They're all just driving here. What the heck was that? He could have been using that to combat Red Raptor's bike this entire time. Actually, I don't think it's quite a bike because it's got 4 wheels. But it's not a car. I don't remember.
Do you not know the name of it? I don't know either. That's fine. These are not my activities. I don't have like
I'm waiting for left stick to use my text. It's fine. It's okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
It's that thing that you drive when you're playing co-op. When you're going through the co-op campaign, and you just want to be like, yeah, I'll ride on the back, and then I'll just use the machine gun. Anyway.
Oh yeah, now that I have a second, I'd like to explain what happened. Wait. You will wait on this one.
I'm not going to wait. Fine,
Game ago,
I have to
you
wait.
lunged at me.
I have to wait.
I
did not lunge.
I would like you to understand.
I would never do that.
Wait, cut back to me for a second. Cut back to me.
What do you mean? Why are you cutting back?
You're not cutting back.
They're
Not
only going
at
to cut to me. It's not going to happen.
That's so funny.
You don't get
That's
it.
so good. I don't get the.
You don't get the
privilege.
bit. You don't get the privilege. I don't know what Toast just said. Hold on, wait one second.
So, we have these stats up. We have potentially only one more game to go, especially with the way that everything has been going thus far. Blue team, it's been kind of all blue team at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is not what we saw in winners finals at all.
Keith
the thing that Keith,
finally gave up Red Raptor.
and now we're switching off. You don't look too good about it. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the right play. Keith Solgrim is certainly very good. And when you're like one game away from being eliminated, you might as well do what it takes, especially if Red Raptor has like, lost 4 games in a row now. But man, it's not going to look quite as good without that side stick. Look at Himwy go.
It's over. You can win now, but at what cost? So it might not even be worth it at the moment. But
Significant chunk of the prize pool, actually. I think that's what the cost is.
you know what? I never really considered that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the insightful commentary.
You're
really
very
appreciate it.
welcome.
You know, I'm a little new around these parts, but you've been around for a while, so really appreciate you
You
filling
asked
me
a
in.
question and I wanted to answer. That's all.
Blue team now
that's all that
struggling off stage. What's going on? What's happening?
Well, Keith is playing Olgrim, and he's not playing Red Raptor, which, spoiler alert, not his best character. He's definitely been putting a lot of work into it. Himwy and Arrow, however, have 3 games to win and possibly only need this one. Neutralite not going to knock out just yet. Keith goes over that downer there. Tiger finally goes down. Has a little bit more presence this game as opposed to the last one. And that ground pound nicely spaced. We'll get around the weapon throw, and that will be 4 stocks to 4. Evens things up.
Yeah, excellent positioning to connect it. And I guess my question is, what will Tiger do in this game to have a little bit more presence, mix up in that spacing to actually like having moves connect a little bit more? That neutrality doesn't actually come out. Himwy just able to get that wave punish nice and easy. Tiger coming on in with that downer, popping him up.
I think the main thing is that Lance and Axe are so much easier for Teros to be able to follow up after in a team combo, whereas when you're doing stuff with Boots, you really are just flying across the stage, and he can't.
You're just taking them with them.
He can't risk like following up off of his teammate because you're just going to end up hitting your teammate there. So I think this is just a lot more comfortable for Tiger in terms of his experience in a 2v2 environment. And now they're up 4 stocks to 3.
Keith. Yeah, Keith's like combos with the Lance right now, looking amazing. Just dealing so much damage onto Elo. Tries to come back in with that side as well. Looking for the neutral coverage, gets the cross up with the neutral as well, and now has both of them stacked on top of each other until they both just separate and then just split them both apart. It was like, okay, that's cool.
The big deal there was that even though they did separate and take down Keith,
one went down and the other went up.
Yeah, they used everything, and then they just landed right into a Teros down sig, and now is a 2v1 against
They communicated via telepathy. They knew exactly what to do in that moment. How to split up.
Are you talking about the blue team?
Yeah.
I was saying that Keith did a good job separating them in that way because Tiger was waiting on the ground to cover the landing to get the knockout.
that's true.
So like
He
they
can
did
still
a good
drop it.
They did a good job like knocking
Yes.
him out, and he was like, haha, you fell into my trap, and then they just did it, and now they have a 1v2 against Himwy. But
Not an impossible 1v2, but definitely an unlikely one. And if we saw anything that we did from winners finals, when we did get a chance to see what a 2v1 with these two looked like, I mean, it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
That being said, and we're trying to get that pogo off stage.
nice downlight from Tiger, hitting his teammate, kicks him out of the way. Himwy, somehow Keith has been taking as much damage as Himwy has, and that's interesting. There hits, does knock out Tiger off the top. Edge guard, goes for the, okay, that would have been so great if Keith decided to diagonal dodge away and then go for Lance recovery. He was just knocked out there.
It's one of those options that's like, if it connects, it connects, and great. Now you've made it a 1v1, and if it doesn't, well, you know what? You still have a lot of extra games to play with because you have a lead. Tiger able to connect that down and taking that stock off the top. And guess what? They're back into the game.
Yeah, Keith on Olgrim looking a lot more solid, and more importantly, the familiarity from Tiger on what to do with Olgrim as a teammate. Like, see, there was a down stick that covered that landing there on Arrow. Is so much more apparent. I actually think that Tiger's like lostness of that last game was coming from the fact that like I really think boots are super hard to follow up against in doubles.
Yes,
If you're the one
because they
getting
just
the
take
openings, it's
they
fine.
take the opponent with you, right?
Yeah.
And it just becomes so difficult to actually not step on the toes of your teammate. I feel like Kataris has that same issue sometimes as well, especially if you're going through a lot of side lights and down
And
airs.
they are similarly never seen in doubles, and it's because you are really just stacked the entire way with your string.
And it's like in the winners finals match that we saw, if you connect it, you connect it. If you catch both of your opponents stacked on top of each other and then you carry them off the stage, you've just 1v2'd them with your combo weapon and you've executed your combo.
Yeah.
And then when you don't execute that combo, you lose out on a lot of that damage.
I would say the strength is that if Tiger was succeeding and always getting the openings, and then Boots always getting the follow-ups, it's much stronger than what they have right now.
but Tiger was not really the initiator.
But when both teammates can initiate, it's just that much better. And we're seeing here going into game 4, an even game state opening up here, but still a slight deficit for the blue team. Arrow getting sent high into the sky, and he does seem to be the one that goes down the fastest. So taking an early Himwy stock is actually really pretty big deal, because Himwy tends to be the one stock tanking in those 1v2s more often than not. Nice chase dodge out of the way of that Sarah, though. That was great awareness.
Okay, Keith gonna be knocked off stage here. Himwy just gonna be trying to focus on Tiger. I like the idea, right? You want to try and protect your teammate, but you got there a little bit too late, and now all of a sudden your teammate's gonna be knocked down to the second stock. Tiger knocked off stage here. What's Tiger gonna do about it?
Lots of damage coming out from Tiger, and Keith's still on that first stock. Keith's playing phenomenally. Weapon spawn comes in, goes in for that side air. Keith sent flying, but has the dodge and the Sarah, so you know what? That third stock's going to last a little bit longer.
And you saw Tiger jump up on that platform and wait just in case somebody tried to go under or above to try and edge guard Keith, and Tiger would just be putting a wall and a stop to that. That being said, everybody's got to get knocked out eventually. And a huge 2v1 combo. Blue team dealing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Tiger
Keith,
stopped it with a recovery,
Goodness.
but didn't get a knockout. So that ended up just working out for the blue team. There he goes down. Arrow could go down to a side air and a neutral light from Keith here. Nope, Keith goes for the nair instead, and Arrow manages to hold on. Tiger now the one at the weak link, and actually this is looking good for the blue team. Even though they're down in a stock right now, this is great if they can get this team combo on the Keith and they go for it. No,
they go for
Himwy
it.
drops it.
a little bit too much knockback, a little bit too fast. Himwy pressed that D light too late and didn't get that follow-up. That being said, that Lance Sider is going to come out, going to keep Keith off stage. That's going to be the stock maybe if somebody goes out there, but not quite. They chose to focus on Tiger. They got their guaranteed combo. They got a lot of damage off. And look, it does not matter that Keith is still alive, because look at how much damage was dealt onto Tiger.
Yep, Keith
This has become an awful situation for
Yeah,
that
he
team.
spent 10 seconds staring back to the stage, and Tiger took a ton of damage. He was like, whoa, I'm alone. This sucks. And now he
I
and
understand.
they're actually, Tiger and Himwy are kind of both in the same situation. We could have a 2-stock versus 2 Ulgrim Ditto. Okay, not going to happen there. Arrow goes down. Who's going to go down next? Tiger frontlining for some reason.
Oh, Himwy not going to lose that stock quite yet. Jumps out there, gets that spike, and Arrow quickly gets that hit as well.
way.
All of a sudden, this has become Blue Team's game.
Arrow, who has been going down first the entire grand final set, is he going to be the one that clutches the 1v2 and gets the win here in grands? He's fighting against Keith of all players, though, and Keith has been schooling him in the Ulgrim Ditto.
Yeah, if anybody can school him in the old grip ditto, it is going to be somebody like Keith, right? Just getting a lot of damage out there, catching all those jumps, and now it is up to Arrow to get something started,
Has he
looking for
even
the
hit
D-light, looking for the downer, looking for anything.
Oh, downer comes through, and Keith is punished him for it. Okay, Arrow gets a sider and an air. It's a good start. Landing downer gets punished by Keith, and Keith goes for that dodge in read, doesn't quite find it. They're both staring around. Sidelight and air, recovery, no, double nair. Great weight patience, and Arrow switches over to the axe to be able to combat Keith's lance. Oh, recovery goes through. I think if Keith Sayers, the edge guard here from Keith would almost definitely work out. Now, I think it just might knock out.
Okay, tries to go for that side, gets hit with that neutral, like gets knocked off stage. Arrow gets a little bit greedy with it. Waits, Keith doesn't actually commit to anything off stage. They didn't want to risk anything.
The grab out hits the weapon of his hands. The Stair just barely whiffs, and Keith gets the recovery. Okay, sidelight doesn't go into nair there. They're both one hit away. Arrow, however, is like a downlight away, I feel like, or neutral light.
They're both so close to each other, it's just going to be who swings first.
The down
Swipe.
hits.
The DC connects.
Oh,
What a clutch.
Arrow gets the 1v2 clutch and wins grands with 777 damage, 681 taken. Holy cow, Arrow is the hero of that game 4. And that, after the bracket reset, it's going to be a victory for Himwy and Arrow. So that means Himwy wins singles and doubles here for the Autumn Championship in Southeast Asia. What a fantastic showing from him. And he's got to be feeling great about his teammate Arrow after that one. That was fantastic. I mean, he took 3 stocks to be able to win that game.